Alright guys, I actually don't know where we left off here. I think I showed it when I painted this. So this is a couple days later. I've let this, whatever it is, KY new metal stuff seal up. So it's good. Looks like it's nice and strong. It's got kind of a bit of a shine to it, which is kind of what I want. I had a package from Rock Auto show up. So that's all the front end stuff. I went Moog everything on that. Tie rods in here. I ended up getting the control arms back sandblasted. So that's super handy. And then actually got a buddy who's got a 55 Chevy who's a machinist, and he ended up making a bunch of stuff for pressing all the bushings in, so that's fantastic. So just gonna hammer this little piece straight, and we're gonna hang these things up and get them in paint right away so they don't rust. I'll probably go some sort of semi-gloss black, just like the rest. And that's that. I actually also ended up picking up a set of coil springs for a big block Chevelle, which I heard lift the front end up. And in the meantime, I also just painted the existing springs black, just so I put those in so I can mess with the ride head a little bit. So once I get that going, then I got to pull the front brakes all apart, just so I have the spindles. I don't know where they are, under the car maybe. Yeah, so I've done nothing with those, but got to take that apart. I'll wire wheel up the spindle, get that good to go, and then I still have all the braces and stuff I got to go in for the bushings for the control arms. So I got to wire wheel those, get those in paint. So lots of cleaning, painting, scrubbing, that sort of stuff in my near future. Alright, so I managed to paint all these. They're all hanging up. They were just drying overnight. This one's here. That's all done. I wire wheeled all the little bars that go across. So I'll break into the box of Moog. I'll start pressing these things together, see how that goes. Alright, so I'm working on these control arms. I got all the shafts pushed in. It actually went pretty smooth on most of them. The first upper, I just put the ball joint in, so it's pretty easy. Just bolt it in. This lower was a bit of a pain in the ass. It's all hammered up on this one side here. It's probably gonna be hard to see on camera, but it's been kind of folded over there. So I straightened out the best I can. Then I pushed the bushing in. I had to put a couple tack welds on it just to hold it. But otherwise, no, it should go pretty good. Now it's just a matter of bolting these ball joints in. They're all super easy and pretty much ready to go. So that one's all done. And over here, this one here, you just got to drill out the holes here. And I got all Moog stuff. Okay, just kind of comes ready to go. Plunk it in. All the hardware's in there with the boot. That's it, so it's super simple. Alright guys, here's all the control arms all together with ball joints and all that. I didn't do a whole lot of filming with it. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. Put the ball joint in and bolt it in. It's got lock washers and lock nuts on some of them, and I just I put thread seal, like Loctite on all of them, just cuz. At this point, I mean, this thing's never coming apart again, probably in my lifetime anyways. So I mean, that's that. Just gotta bolt it all together. I was gonna go over and start taking the brakes and all that apart so I can take the spindles out. So I gotta clean up in the garage. It's just trashed in here. But basically pull those apart, and then at least I can get the thing all back together. Okay guys, so here's the on the one side there, I took everything apart so they're both the same. I just flip this around. Pretty simple. All you do is just rip the brakes off with a couple of springs, no big deal, and that's 4 bolts, and it basically comes free, and it all kind of comes apart. You got to pull the wheel bearing and like the hub and all that across apart. But that's that. And then this, I'm just gonna hang it up, kind of fog it black, and then while I'm doing that, I'll take the other one apart and kind of make it ready to go. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do next. I was looking online. There's a place, Speedway Motors or Performance, wherever. They sell a disc brake conversion kit. So I might just do that. I mean, by the time I put on new shoes and drums, if it needs it, I'll probably be the same amount as switching over to discs. And I already have a power brake booster on this thing. Came with it. So it might be nice to have power front discs and drums in the back. So see what the price is on all that, but that's what I'm just going to paint that. I think the other kit uses the backing plate and stuff, so I might end up cleaning a few more parts, but whatever, you put the suspension together, the spindle will hold everything together, then you can just kind of work from there. So that's what I'm working on now. Alright, well, I haven't got much done. I took the other spindle and all that apart, so they're all hanging, painting, or letting the paint dry, I should say. The uppers, I just kind of put the washers and the bolts with a set of new lock washers on there. The springs out, kind of wipe those down. And yeah, I'm just waiting for all this stuff to kind of dry and whatnot. Tomorrow I'm gonna get some bolts, some new bolts put all together for the suspension. Hopefully I can get it all together, maybe make it a roller in the next couple of days. This is the stuff you never really see on TV and all that, where all the screwing around, you know, 2 hours at the wire wheel. I probably stood here for 2 hours tonight just cleaning everything and then painting it and all that messing around. It's just a pain in the ass. So yeah, it's going. I'll probably let those dry, give them one more coat before I go in for the night. And then, like I said, tomorrow I'll get some bolts and put these lower control arms in, and life will be good again. Be back to being a roller, and I don't know, I guess I gotta look at brakes next or something like that, but at least once it's on the ground, then I can get in. I gotta work on the firewall, see what fits all there, see what I can make do with the brakes. Never ends. That's what I'm doing for tonight. Alright guys, the next day, I went and grabbed a bunch of fine thread grade 8 bolts there, so I got all the fasteners to do all this stuff. So I'll pull all these out, start mounting upper lower control arms. Just get them all kind of fit in there, make sure everything works. I might have to file in there a little bit that rust paint gets in there, and it's pretty tough. So I'll get working on that, see what I can get accomplished, get everything kind of hung, and then like I said, I painted all these yesterday, so they're pretty much dry. Well, obviously they are dry today, so worst case I can kind of mount the spindles, hold them together, and well, I guess I'll see if I can cram in these big block Chevelle coils in there. So yeah, start taking this apart, and I'll kind of, you know, periodically bring in and show you how it is. Alright guys, so I figured I'd give you a little update here. So I managed to get the this one spring in, and it was a pain. These Chevelle springs are, well, I don't know, maybe an inch or so taller than the factory Chevy ones, but that'll hopefully give me a bit more of a lift. And again, with the big block, hopefully it'll help it out. But they were a real nightmare to get in. I tried using the coil spring compressor I had, which I had no success of, and actually ended up borrowing one off a buddy, and that made a hell of a difference. So it actually is a rod that goes all the way from the bottom and all the way up through the shock mount there, and you can press the whole thing, and you actually have the lower control arm hanging and kind of put it up. It was quite a process. I ended up Googling it and found a bunch of information on there. So on the other side, now that I kind of have it down, I'll take it all apart. Maybe I'll kind of bring it back and just show you in a few steps, because it's kind of precarious, but I'll show you how it did. Alright guys, so I just got it kind of set up. So basically, all this thing is a long rod. On the bottom there's a chunk of aluminum, the washer, and it's threaded all the way up. So all you're basically doing is you're tightening the nut, and it's going down the all thread, which obviously compresses the spring, and that brings the lower control arm to the upper control arm. So what you're left with here is, because the lower control arm it's just kind of floating in space right now, so as you compress it, it's going to bring this up. I have a floor jack on it just to kind of help it and guide it in place. And then I got some, well, these are probably 6-inch bolts, just 3/8. But I just kind of dumped those in there. So the second I'm even close to it, you can get through, just put a nut on one on each side, and that's kind of guiding it up where it has to go. And then you can, you know, zip it all the way up, and then I just do the other ones with the proper hardware. And then obviously take these ones out, do that, and then it's all done. And then you can just loosen the all thread rod, and the whole piece kind of comes right out, and that's it. So it's quite a setup here, but it worked out pretty good. Buddy made a good little tool here. So I'll get this a little zipped up. I'll kind of show you where it goes, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. So I put maybe 1.5 or 2 inches worth of threads cranking down wise. So now obviously the spring's got some tension on it, and I managed to get the control arms up. So I just have these long 3/8 bolts, front and back. I don't know if you can see it there or not. So now, worst case scenario, because the spindle's on with both nuts, even if the tool breaks or whatever, nothing's blowing apart. So we're fine there. And then obviously I'm going to keep the jack under it and just kind of work it up at the same time to kind of hold it, and that just kind of guides it in place. So I got to crank the spring to obviously shrink this gap right here, and I mean obviously the control arm, everything is loose, so I can tilt it, do whatever I got to do. I have all my, you know, my nuts, my Loctite and everything, or my bolts ready to go. So I'll just carry on and I'll show you when it's all together. The hardware is all in, both sides there. I took the jack out, and I loosened the compressing tool, so you can kind of see now it's loose in here. So I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple little setup there. That's all together. Hopefully I like the ride height in this with the Chevelle springs, because that's a lot of work to change everything. But I guess we'll see. Hopefully it'll work out. I like the way it sits with no motor in it. Hopefully this will maintain that with a big block in it. I think that's it for tonight. This thing really beat me up. Didn't really get a whole lot accomplished. Just put some stuff together. But I'll disassemble it. This last little, take the compressor out. Probably wipe it all down. And that's it for tonight. So be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll put the hubs back on. We'll see what happens. Alright guys, here's where I'm at. Obviously I left it, the front suspension's all together-ish for the most part. I don't have any of the steering stuff. Tie rods, none of that's in there yet. I got the steering box back on and all that sort of stuff. Before I do that, I was going to start working on cleaning up the firewall a little. It's got some fiberglass kind of resin on it from when I had the flip front end on. Everything's just kind of sitting there. And at this point, it's so far apart, I can kind of scuff it off and give it a pretty decent little paint job. So I'm going to take off the master cylinder, pull that off, get all that junk out of there, see what I can do with this wiring, maybe tuck it back into the car for now or something, and have a nice thing to work with there. Got a little bit I want to do on the sills at the front. I want to block them off a little because they're all just open. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The other thing I got to do, I guess, is before I get too crazy, I got to weld this brace back on for the body mount. So I'll have to set that all up, put a bolt on it, make sure it's where I want it, buzz it in, and then yeah, that's pretty much that. I might do a few more things, like I might put the shocks on, kind of some stuff like that, but that's basically what I'm going to work on tonight. So I'll take this all apart, see what it turns out. So I have the brace here, so I just kind of ground down the insides there, and then I punched a few holes in it on both sides, and then the bottom, same thing. I put the body mount in, so it kind of gives me a bit of an idea of where everything should be. Then I just kind of cleaned up on the firewall where it's going to go, so I can plug weld it in there. And then down here I want to cross. I actually just got a new tool. It's pretty wicked. So I was trying to clean in here, and usually I just use like a roll lock or a grinder, which is fine, but you can't get above the frame. It's kind of a pain to get in there, especially I just painted it, so I'm trying to keep it in decent shape. I ended up getting this 3M sander from a local place, Rondex, and it is sweet. Just gets right in there, you just pull it across, a little belt sander, and it was mint. And I mean, it did a perfect job. So now same thing, I can just kind of fit this. A little bit of a pain doing it one-handed, but kind of in the boat like that. And you can see right behind where I'm going to be is all nice clean metal. Up around here I'll have to do a little messing around, but same thing, I'll tack weld it on. You can see I'll be able to just kind of plug weld it in there, be perfect. On the other side they had a few welds up at the top. I'll probably do the same thing, but put that on there and it'll be just like factory. There we go, a few plug welds there. I just give the top a hit real quick, and then down there I went across. Pretty simple. And then I just started sanding off the side here because it's got a bunch of this kind of old undercoating on it. So I just scuffed it up from about here over, and I was just gonna fog that section with some black paint, just see what kind of turns out, because I don't know how much effort I want to put into the firewall. So I was just gonna scuff it up, I'll shoot it black and see what turns out, and decide if I want to really give it a lot of sanding or if that was just kind of a good scuff and go. So yeah, I'll give it a quick coat, see what turns out. Alright, I slapped on a couple quick coats. So I mean, on the side it looks great, on the front looks meh, and on the inside looks okay there too. Unfortunately, where the all the seams were, and it's the old factory seam sealer, it's kind of cracked and looks a little crappy, but overall it looks not too bad. So hopefully I can I'll let that dry overnight, come back tomorrow, see what it looks like. But if I can do that and get away with just making sure the side's real nice and the top's real nice, because once the front end is flipped up you'll really see that, and obviously I'll have to do in the door jamb and all that too. But that's not too bad. And then I mean, once you get behind the motor, it looks like it's all full of stuff right now, but you're not going to see any of that, especially when I get a big block in there, and all behind there will be hidden by the brake booster and all that. So while it's out, I'll clean that up real nice. And then from this part down, I mean, you're really going to have to get on there to see it. So I'm thinking if I just really give it a good sand on the top, on the sides, so you actually see, the rest of those kind of scuff up and fog it black, and it'll look just fine. But yeah, so that's that. I think I'm going to call it for tonight. And I'm sure I'll be back at it tomorrow.